Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to welcome you to this webinar. My name is Byron Noel, and I'll be your organizer for the session. And with me today is Robbie. Webb. I have a short video I'd like to play just before handing over to our presenter.
This Valentine's, what could be more romantic than listening to plumbing-related podcasts in a hot tub? TMP Magazine Podcasts, bringing you interesting and informative conversations about your trade and industry. TMP Magazine Podcasts, staying informed and being empowered could never be more romanticized, all pun intended. Find our podcasts on TMP Magazine on App Plumber. We know you'll love the content.
That's it from my side, and I'd like to hand over to our presenter.
All right, thanks very much. Good morning. As you said, it's Robbie Webb. First of all, thank you, Byron, for putting it all together, and thank you very much again to IOPSA for giving us the opportunity to speak to you guys. I will put my video off once I get going. I just wanted to show face in the beginning. The topic that we're going to do today is about COBRA screw-down taps. So if you bear with me a sec, I'm going to just share the screen. All right, so it's hardly a technical talk as the tech talks. It's probably one of the oldest things most of you guys know, but I think in our recent changes, there's been a great deal of discussion about what we've done and what we're doing, and I wanted to really talk directly to the plumbers on the background and where we're going with it. So we, as you would all know, closed the factory close on 2 years ago now. And in doing that, we had to find within the LIXIL network, whichever factory could make whatever product the best. So, you know, a certain factory, for example, grower factory would be good at making single lever mixers that were COBRA branded. Certain factories in Thailand and Vietnam were good at the sanitary ware and so on. So we had to find and get these products made to replace what we got out of our own factory, sadly, when we closed it. So in the first round, you would have seen a number of products coming onto the market and replacing particularly Star, Stella, those screw-down taps. And in many cases, the reaction wasn't good. The quality was not what the guys were used to. And so what I want to take you through is how we've addressed that. So we will have, and there will be some confusion because there's, you know, some of the stuff will stay on the market and the new ones will be added on top of that. Because there was, although there was a reaction to the quality and size and so on, there was also a positive reaction to the price. So we're doing it in a phased-in stage. So the first three that we would have actually really done is the range Star, Stella, and Metsi. And the idea is that we would go back to making them the way we originally made them. So in having had enough time to work within the group and to get drawings and all sorts of things sorted out, we have found a better facility to do these products. And obviously there's a bunch of logistics around that, tooling, getting the guys up and running, SABS, all those sort of things. So the first phase was to do the light patterns, Star, Stella, and Metsi. And then in the second phase, we will be doing some of the key heavy pattern products. So I'm going to take you through it. At the end, I'm going to just skim through a PDF document, and I would like to make that PDF document available to whoever wants it because it lays it out quite nicely. So just for those, I think that everybody knows this stuff, but general terminology around screw-down tap. So screw-down tap is something where you turn a handle to open and close it as opposing to have a single lever mixer to control both. And there is still quite a big market for it, believe it or not. There are, in particular, governments still use a lot of these products. Some of our export markets, I am now looking after Namibia, and there's a huge demand. Not that Namibia is huge, but there's a massive demand for screw downs there because it works well with low pressure. So, for a basin, you could have a pillar tap, a mixer, which is still a screw down where the hot and cold handles on the left, 3-tapper, which you don't see so much anymore. And then on a bath, you would have a pillar type or a wall type, as we've showed there. Stopcocks is the working part is obviously under the wall, and you could use that on a shower or a bath or going up to a cistern, as you guys know. And then an exposed shower mixer is something we don't see a lot of in South Africa, but we did in our export market. So they would have pretty much like a sink mixer with a riser pipe pinned to the wall. I think we see it here now and again in an outside shower at a braai area, that type of thing. And then in a kitchen, you could have a deck-mounted or pillar-type mixer, or a 296, which is I've showed a prep bowl tap, but you could have that in the form of a 296, a little bit like that basin mixer. And then we all know what a male and a female and a copper-to-copper thread is. So everybody and his dog has at some point copied COBRA screw down taps. So I'm not going to run through the names of companies who've done it. And it was a rabbit hole down to who could get the cheapest price and copy the look. We ourselves started chasing the price aspect. And in that first round of procuring, to get down to those prices, obviously we compromised on the quality. So these originals, as we're going to call them, would be back to what you knew before. It's not absolutely everything, but it's the bulk of the top selling SKUs in those items. So just to go through these MOTs, moments of truth as they call them, the easy switch means that you could swap out the head parts. So those thread sizes, the seat to shoulder dimensions, all of that stuff would be exactly as it was. So you could swap a Stella head part into a Star Tap and so on. DZR, most definitely all of this product is made out of DZR brass. It'll comply with the SAN 66509. And once again, markets that particularly like in Namibia now, they are so big on corrosion and products which stand up to that because it's a big problem for them. And at the coast, in our own country, it's a problem. So COBRA Team Assist, that's the warranty backup support that you get with the product. And that's got a value, where you've got somebody that can come and support it, keep the spares, worry about it if something goes wrong. That's a value that you're getting in the price of the product as well. So most certainly we continue to do that as we always have. And then the COBRA Genuine is around having spare parts that are genuine COBRA spare parts, so they still uphold your warranty. And these products, the originals, will now carry a 20-year warranty. And so it really is the real thing that you know. So the first range that we will do or have done is the Star. Star, when we name a range, it typically talks about the handle style. So I think absolutely everybody knows what a Star handle is. Next one is Stella. Okay, that's it, kind of like the old Aquila handle, but a solid chrome handle. And then Metsi. And I haven't added it in here, but there's a good few of the Carina taps and Ledemo. Really, the point here is that it's in our DNA, has been for all these years, to do things of a good quality. And I've said it so many times, we've never been particularly good at being the cheapest and price. We obviously want to be competitive, but the thing that people have really trusted and loved about COBRA was that it was good quality. And I think that message is coming back clearly to the new management and the new shareholders. And in many cases, it's been to our detriment to compromise on that. And this is the first of a a really hard drive to get back to what we were always good at doing. You would have seen it straight out the starting blocks for the Flush Masters and those type of products, where we went immediately to the original drawings. So if I can just make this point, if any of you have old COBRA catalogs and you take them out, and I'm talking about really old, anything back from the 80s, 90s, 2000s, you would see in there you've got these old line drawings, because those were the days before we were so digital. And if you take those out and you take one of these new products, you will see that they've been made exactly, precisely to those drawings in every way. So, apart from the fact that it takes you back to that quality point, if you maintaining, retrofitting, taking out old and replacing, you will get exactly those same products. I've got a document, PDF. It looks like this. It's an FTG quote, anybody that knows FTG. And what I've done is I have put all of these taps in their various different configurations, nicely, systematically organized on that document. And I'd really like to share that document with you guys, because you can do the price number code comparison and everything on there so that you can see. So the price, it's not a quote directly to you guys. It's a recommended retail price, which hopefully is what you should be paying. Maybe you get a bit of a discount, but that's the recommended retail price we would put on our website. The merchant then makes a discount off that so they can make some GP. But so I welcome that you have that document, but just remember, it's not a quote. You've got to still get your exact price from your merchant wherever you buy. What I wanted to point out, so for those who know, that product would be a light pattern pillar tap. So we'd all know it as a 211. And when we've reintroduced it after we closed the factory, we had to differentiate between the 211s, which we already had in stock, and the new ones, which came out of the new LIXIL factory. So the number was then superseded with a /N. So it was a 21115N. Okay, those products are still available, and they came in slightly cheaper than the other ones. So there's still plenty of them in stock, and we're still going to keep doing them from that same plant. So this is what we could have called phase one. And keep in mind, when we closed the factory, we had to suddenly find places to do all these things in a very short space of time. And so perhaps we didn't get everything right first time round, but as we've settled in, we've been able to find a better resource, get better organized on the supply chain side. So what we then did, and I think really in reaction to the market's response, is we went back and we found a much better suited plant. And these are the ones which would be made back to the original drawings and dimensions and material spec and everything. And so we've already used the number N. So we now use NV. And these are the products which will be what we're going to call the original screw downs. So that was the first phase of the improvement. The next thing we did is we found that these guys could and were prepared to do certain of the heavy pattern volumes. And so we have reintroduced some of these really big old heavy pattern stuff. Point I want to make as well, in manufacturing something, anybody that imports or goes off to a factory, very often in China, they would do anything for you, but they're always looking for a volume, and your cost is related to the volume. So as soon as you have a product where there's not a large volume of sales, nobody wants to do it, because, who wants to make 1,000 heavy pattern bath mixers a year for that cost of tooling and setting up? So it's for that reason that a lot of these products have fallen off. When we had our own factory, we could do short runs, but even for us, it became very unviable. So to find somebody to do these sort of volumes in heavy pattern is really quite special. And I think it will hopefully give us some sort of a differential, because, everybody's kind of got good at copying the cheapy stuff. Just to point out some of the differences. So the handle shapes have gone back to exactly what they were. The wall thickness in the brass bodies has gone back to what it was. It's increased. The actual physical outside dimension sizes are back to the drawings. So that first 211, you would remember, had a much shorter little spout, which people didn't like. The thickness of the actual spout, so, the bore of it is bigger, back to what it was, throw into the basin. And on the stop taps, things like the distance out of the wall that gives you play for tile height and plastering adjustment, and the coverage you would get from the flange, again, back to the big old ones that you knew. And on the bath mixer, we've slightly updated and changed the design. So you'll see on the old heavy ones that there isn't, but they've included a hand shower and the fittings and back to the lever diverter, which you knew. Packaging is, in fact, an improvement on what we had. Nice, sturdy packaging, and inside the packaging, it includes installation instructions. On the box, you'll always see all these MOTs, which will tell you about the brass and the guarantee and the support and backup, water saving, and so on. And you have the barcode, the product description and code, everything clearly visible on the box, and with a little warranty detail. So if you wanted to get hold of the COBRA Assist guys, the toll-free number and website address are on there, so you can directly log a service call or get issues sorted out with the COBRA Assist Vic and his team. All right, so I'm going to stop sharing that one, and I want to just quickly share the other document, if I can find the thing now. Just bear with me for 1 sec. Apologies. Sorry, just give me a sec. All right, there we go. Hopefully everybody can see that. So this is what this FTG quote, as they call it, but as I said, it's not a quote, and I've put that on the front to make it clear. But I would have, let's just get that up there so you can see. So start off with which range it is. So it's star, and then we'd start with the basin taps. Show you which was the old one, the improved one, and if we've introduced a heavy pattern one, that would be back on there. And I've gone through that for each and every configuration and each and every range, as you can see there. So it makes it really nice. It gives you guys as plumbers also some perspective of price points. Again, you would get your prices from the merchants, but you can see. And we totally understand. Not everybody wants to buy the most expensive, big, heavy pattern thing. But the feedback that we had from a lot of people is that it's not about the price. We don't care about the price. Why have you stopped that big, strong one? In my Namibia market, it's only about that. And as always, we try and be as competitive as we can. So that's the document. And I'm going to ask the IOP guys, it's quite a long document, but it's comprehensive and it's really easy to understand. I'm going to ask the IOP guys if I can share that with you somewhere, and hopefully it will be a benefit to you. So I'm going to stop sharing at that point. I haven't even had a chance to look at how we're doing for time. Seem to be a bit ahead, but if there are any questions, Byron, is it fine if I start taking questions already?
Yes, sure, no problem. Ladies and gentlemen, if you do have any questions, please post it in the Q&A.
Yes. So the answer to that one, Ludwig, is yes, you will still get those spares.
Just so people have some reference, the question was, does COBRA still make the blue and red circle covers that go over the screws?
Okay, apologies. So any other questions that come, I will read the question out. All right. No, nothing else, guys. We had such a lot of reaction in the market when I've been out and about. All right, so the question here from Melville is, where can we find our local support team details for the Eastern Cape? So on the box of any product on our website, and I'll type it in here for you now. Can I type? I think I can. No, I can't. Right. There's a toll-free number. It's 0861 212121. Okay. I'll repeat it, 0861 212121. And that number, they will connect you to the COBRA Assist guys in all the regions. So we've got a team of guys in the Eastern Cape, in the Western Cape, in KZN, in Gauteng, even in some of the outlying areas. And they will attend to your, if you've got a service issue, wherever it is, and I mean, the Eastern Cape in particular is quite widespread, so it won't be as fast turnaround as around the metropoles, but generally within 24 hours, those guys would get hold of your call, try and solve it on the phone. If they've got to go to site, then they'll go to site. There's roughly 26 guys around the country, so really it's a very good, solid backup support team. Okay, if you couldn't remember the number, just go to our website. It's on there, or on the box of any product. You'll find it there as well. All right. So, Byron, I think if there are no more questions, perhaps if, yeah?
Yeah, no, sorry, continue.
Yeah, no, if there are no more questions, perhaps if we could just ask somebody from IOP where I could post the link to put that, post that document. And then if anybody wants it, it's there for you guys to take.
Yes, no problem. All right, thank you very much for joining us this morning, ladies and gentlemen. Just a reminder that they will be recording on the LMS system in case you missed anything. We just got another question.
All right. So are there any developmental available programs for the Flashmaster, etc.? So Melville, most definitely. If you send me a mail, so again, my mail address, I can't type it in there, but it's Byron, is there a way I can type in a reply?
I'll type it for you again.
Okay, it's robbie.webb, ROBBIE.webb @LIXIL.com. And so we've got the training guys, so Iksan, Hugo, and again in the Eastern Cape, they've got a strong support team there, so we can do product training on any of those topics. So the Flashmasters, piping around it, pressure control valves around the geyser, electronic products. So all of those kind of technical things that a plumber wants to do detail. So we can do that training. We travel around the country doing it. That's what I was doing last year. I'm not doing that anymore. I'm looking after Namibia, but Iksan is still doing it, and the local guys are doing it. So yeah, most definitely we can help you there.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much. So, ladies and gentlemen, we will get that PDF too. And then thank you very much for joining us, Robbie, this morning. Is there anything you'd like to add just before we end off?
Yeah, no, just so Byron, to all of you guys that listened in, we really appreciate it. Thank you very much for giving us the time, and thank you for your support in the trade. It is very much appreciated. That's all from my side. Thanks.
Thank you very much.